Yo, welcome to Majority Report, your podcast brought to you from the ad agency Built by Culture. We're doing Black history and advertising today. And before we get to that, the gang is here once again.
I'm Jeremiah. That guy. I didn't know if you were passing it off to me.
Y'all be killing me with that.
I was like, I saw the hand, but I was like, is it? Oh, hi, I'm Jeremiah.
Somebody talk first, quick.
I'm a person.
Same. I'm Sierra. I'm also a person.
John, I'm also a person. But I feel like we exist outside of time and space. And maybe I'm bigger than a person. Maybe I'm an idea.
Okay.
Maybe more ideas.
I like that. You know what? Fine. I'm OJ and I'm also a person.
Hey, we're people today.
I support whatever y'all just did. And before we hop into our wealth of knowledge on Black history and advertising, what have y'all been seeing that's wild in the ad world?
This week, something that I found out about yesterday, I think they actually announced it yesterday, was Blizzard Entertainment and Zillow, the homing people, not homing people,
The homing people.
the people you go online to find a house. They're actually partnered to put their building or their homes. You can use World of Warcraft to look at homes in 3D. And then I think I'm still trying to find more information about it, but it looks like you'll be able to shop homes on World of Warcraft.
Wait, why?
Because I don't know, we're living in what's that game or that movie? Ready Player One.
There's
we're hitting
real
that Ready Player One type
homes
thing.
that
Yes.
exist in the real world you can look at in the game.
In the game, yes.
So it's going to be in the style of World of Warcraft, and that's the point?
No, I don't think it's the style of World of Warcraft. I'm still trying to understand their acknowledgement. But I think it's another portal within the game, so that you can still stay within Blizzard's game while using Zillow.
That's pretty cool.
If
That's
they
a
do
crazy
have the 3D
partnership.
aspects where you can walk your character around the house, that'd be tough.
It's a partnership
Like
that makes
that
sense.
would be tough.
Yeah, wait, why does it make sense?
What do you mean?
You said it's a partnership that makes sense? It's World of Worlds, like, no, I don't know, I don't
World
get
of
it.
Warcraft.
World
of Warcraft.
My bad.
That's been
See,
like one
my
of the
brain
biggest
thinks in movies.
MMOs.
All I hear was,
That's
okay.
weird. There was a movie for it.
Yeah. Well, I think anything where you can like build, like The Sims would be a good place for that. Any like Roblox. What's the other one? Minecraft. Anywhere where you can like build things and build homes and societies. I feel like that's a really good partnership for a space like Zillow or even Redfin.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Neighborhood cynic. I feel like sometimes advertising like jumps the shark, or it gets to a space where it's like why? Like, granted, I agree with you on the point of like the Sims point of it all, because I do like RPG games like Fable, stuff like that back in the day. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's like, why are you here? Why are you in my experience where I'm trying to have fun? Which
That's interesting.
again, that's cynical.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Kudos to them. Shout out to y'all. It
Yeah.
ain't no disrespect.
I take that back. They are partnering with Zillow, but it's not for real homes.
Oh.
They're going to take World of Warcraft homes.
Yeah.
And then make it 3D the way that Zillow you can walk around.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
That makes more sense
Which
to
okay,
me.
because I will
Okay.
say that's cool because the way
Yeah.
that people be playing World of Warcraft
Yeah.
is crazy, and
makes
people live lives in there.
Oh.
Like there's been like 6-7 years ago, there was like a thing where I think it was a couple. They had some kids, but they would spend like all of their time playing World of Warcraft. And just,
Let them have it.
Just think about that.
What happened
CPS got involved.
Let them have it.
Not
no.
CPS.
I don't know if a child died. It was a lot of stuff.
That's
Wait,
dangerous.
you were John's back from Japan.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have John last time.
yeah.
I'm like, we should be talking about how advertising felt there. I don't know, it just came into my head. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's a great question.
it's like
Yeah.
going to
What did you
Times
notice?
Square
What
for
did
the
you
first
see?
time, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
It's interesting. So they have different neighborhoods that kind of that if I were to make them analogs to like where we're at now, like they have a neighborhood like Ginza, which is kind of like Times Square, kind of like our Buckhead a little
Nice.
bit. And then they have these huge populous centers, so you still see like a lot of like billboards. So I definitely saw like a lot of out of home stuff that was pretty cool, specifically around like fashion and whatnot. Other forms of advertising didn't really stick out like that. Like
Interesting.
I feel like with us being, I don't know how you would describe their economy, but with us being like a capitalist society, they're like jamming shit at you left and right. Whereas out there, it's like, yeah, you'll see a billboard, you'll see a 3D cat up there, and then an ad for something. The 3D cat is actually a thing that people go to see.
Oh, nice.
It's like a giant ass thing. It's like their Times Square shit. But anyway,
It's called 3D Cat.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just making sure I
it's
understand.
it's in Shibuya. I didn't get a chance to see it, but like, yeah, it's a attraction.
Okay.
But all that to say, yeah, you see a lot of out of home and stuff like that.
I just imagine it'd be so. I guess when I think of Japan, I haven't been yet. I imagine it's Times Square constantly for some reason.
Yeah,
that's the
that's
idea I
kinda
have
how
in
I
my
picture
head.
it, yeah.
But like you said, there's neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah, like the touristy areas, super populated, lot going on, can be overstimulating. But yeah, like especially on the trains, that's where I noticed a lot of advertising actually. And it's interesting because like I feel like we do a lot of work that shows like intrinsics, but I think like there are differences, like some of like the facial expressions of like the people trying to drink. It's almost like they're going out their way to be like, it's really good. Whereas like I feel like US advertising probably has like moved past that in a sense.
I was gonna say it used to be that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be like.
And maybe that still works out there because they haven't been like bombarded to death with like
Yeah.
buy type shit.
Yeah.
Because I will say, like, when I was in Ireland, I didn't notice a lot of advertising, too. But when I did see advertising, the billboard advertising, it felt, what's the word? Sedated almost. It felt sedated. It felt like, not as in your face, but it's more so like, here you go, we like this. This is great.
And that's
Yeah.
also what I would assume.
It
Yeah.
didn't bring, like, a whole story and, like, an environment with it. It was mostly like, here's our product. Here's a face.
Like this exists. Try it, don't try it.
Yeah,
You know, just know it's out there.
Yeah.
Italy was much the same like that. When I was in Florence, I didn't see a lot of advertising at all. But they're more like physical with theirs. Like people are outside, like talking to you, and like the things that were like big were like the stores and stuff. So like all the name brands, they have like a lot of window treatments and stuff like that. But outside of that, like restaurants and stuff, like for drinks and all that, like people are outside trying to get your attention. It was more like people talking to you rather than having billboards. I didn't see a lot of billboards out there.
Interesting. Dang, y'all bringing the travel stories? I'm trying to think. Like, what? I've been a few places, but I've never actually thought about the advertising when I was there. Like, for example, internationally, when I was in Ghana, and I'm going to pronounce the capital wrong. I got roasted for that because one of my best friends is Ghanaian. But Accra, the capital, and there was a lot of advertising. Like now y'all are saying this, I remember being there, but of course it's the capital, so it's a city. But I remember being surprised about like how huge the billboards were. There's a lot of vertical billboards in different countries. I don't see as many of those, at least in Atlanta here. But wow, I like how we just had a little like around the world.
Yeah, actually, honestly.
I was like, wait a second.
Majority.
Hello.
Majority. Yeah, that's the whole idea.
We're cultured around here, y'all.
Okay, yeah, we should get into some Black history stuff in advertising, marketing, honestly. And shout out to John sent someone that's a good resource for just getting these quick tidbits. His name's OJ3. I thought that was crazy. I don't see OJ very often outside of me, but OJ3 on TikTok has he's doing like a countdown during Black History Month of people that changed, Black people that changed like marketing and advertising. I learned a lot, and it sent me down a few rabbit holes. So just wanted to shout that out.
Nice.
It helped inform some of what I'm going to say today.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you want to go ahead?
Sure. Yeah. Low hanging fruit that I feel like every person should talk about when
Before
we
we
talk about.
continue,
What up?
just to stop, watch. I want you to open your body because you're using your hand a lot. I want to make sure you're seeing. Yeah, because I meant to say it in between the next thing.
Oh, that's nice. He
Just
wants to make sure that you're
Oh
seen.
yeah, I'm a hands talker, man. Like, but no, Steve Stout, right, is an OG legend in advertising. He came out with a book, I think, in the early 2000s, Tanning of America. Probably I'm going to botch this, but essentially, as we know, advertising has always been about the general market. And more so, his book talks about how hip hop influenced marketing to the point where you see a tanning in America that's in line with, just Black and brown people coming into the country, finally getting a space at the table. So his
The
book is all about
tanning
that.
of America literally like refers to making it more brown.
Yeah, yeah.
I have awesome. Okay, sorry.
No. I mean, it's worth reading.
I like it.
He talks about stuff like the Run DMC story with my Adidas, how that transformed the brand. And I mean, if you've ever heard of Translation in New York, that's his agency. So he does a lot of the work for the NBA. Managed Nas at one point. Really, really tight with Jay-Z. Just when we talk about Black advertisers, at least Black advertisers in hip hop, you got to mention the commissioner, Steve Stout. You know,
And one of the things it sounds like that's different is that things were general market. He was like, well, no, let me figure out a playbook for how it like should not be, like focus on certain.
or more so, I feel like he's pointing out that like people are missing, like, yo, this is where this is going.
Okay.
Like everybody's always focused on, and let's call it what it is, general market. We're talking about white people, right? Which, no disrespect, shout out to everybody, but like he essentially was saying,
I was like, where's
man, hey,
This after the one podcast, like John loves white women. I like how you remember to say that.
nah, man, hey,
Excellent.
you get your back kicked in on the internet these days. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's true.
It's like, yo,
Look out
I ain't
for you.
even say nothing. Goddamn, I can't say nothing.
Can't say
Oh
nothing.
my God.
Shoot, you can't tell the truth about nothing these days. This is why I'm quiet in meetings, because then it's like, bro, why? Anyway, but
We need you, John. We need you.
But yeah, like long story short, advertising's always been very focused on white audiences. But as advertisers have kind of learned over the years, even in shameless plug, recent Snob Pop thing I published, I found a Nielsen report talking about how one of the stats was that 2/3 of black consumers say that they want to see black people in their advertisements, which is it should be common sense, but to a lot of people, they just don't want to engage that for whatever reason.
Interesting.
Or they can't engage it intelligently. And someone like Stout has been able to bridge the gap. So
Okay.
Translation in New York is one of those agencies. I think he gave us Cliff Paul and a couple of other stuff. Have y'all seen Cliff Paul?
Not familiar.
Oh, dude, that's Chris Paul in like the State Farm commercials. So a lot of the State
It's like
Farm
type of.
work is them too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Steve Stout, the commissioner, man.
And then what's the timeline? Steve Stout started doing this when?
Back in 05, which
Oh.
or really before this.
I was gonna say later than I thought.
So he like a lot of black people, he found out about advertising like a little bit later in like his career, I think, as like a mogul and executive, and ended up going into there. And the last little tidbit before I wrap up is that he was very instrumental in piecing together I'm Loving It from McDonald's,
Oh, nice.
which was written by Pusha T, by the way.
What?
Period.
I didn't know that.
That
For
was.
real?
That's why it makes so much sense. But that ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm
Yeah.
loving it. It's fire.
But-
That's like it's like
Pusha T
an
was
anthem.
talking about something. He was
Push
on
it.
something
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote that, but like the creator economy wasn't what it is today, so he doesn't have any ownership in the jingle. But imagine if he did, like,
Yeah.
Imagine if he
Crazy.
did.
he could retire off that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve Stout helped piece that together.
Yeah.
That's
That's very
He
cool.
couldn't help him get some residuals or something off of it.
Well, it
Like I'm
sounds,
hearing like a deal was missed here.
well, it sounds effed up, but I mean, again, like, just call it what it is. They barely want to have us at the table anyway.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
like,
Yeah.
it's like ownership, and
Yeah.
especially in like 2005, 2006. Like, wait,
Yeah.
you want to own? No, we're McDonald's,
Relax.
and just little lowly little rapper motherfucker.
Yeah.
Write our jingle,
Yeah.
and you get to say you wrote it. Here's
Yeah.
a check. All right,
Lowly
get away
is
from us.
crazy.
I mean, in 2025, as many black directors as there are, for Ryan Coogler to be the first black director to get ownership rights of his movie after 25 years, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a long time to wait, but that's also a big deal because he's the first black person to do that, black director. So I
Yeah.
can imagine in 2005 that that's not a thing of just having ownership of your stuff.
Well, one of the other cool things
Hate
is
it.
that translation is also operates alongside United Masters.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. That's the music licensing company that does a lot of
Look
stuff.
how you look. Y'all like how you looked right at me because you knew I was.
Oh, I don't know. I was like, I don't know what else
No,
to
I
say to
didn't.
that. I was like, I don't have anything else.
What did they do? That was good. Okay, cool.
Not what do they do?
I asked the timeline too because during my research, I was like, you can't talk about advertising and the black history of it without talking about the 80s to me. And this is after the 80s, but there's another conversation to be had about why the 80s in particular had this like boom of like black athletes and music and all that kind of stuff. But the way then they could capitalize on that and be like, Michael Jordan and Nike get together. And I think Michael Jackson was in a
Was that Pepsi?
Pepsi,
I was saying, that's where he got burned up.
A
Yeah.
Pepsi ad. Bill Cosby was doing Jello ads and stuff. Like the advertising. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
That's because of the pudding stuff, right?
Yeah, the pudding.
Yeah, you gotta bring up Bill Cosby. Unfortunately, that's
Unfortunately,
the cultural impact is crazy. But yeah, the '80s and advertising and black culture are just like an insanely blended boom. It's insane to think about. And then Whitney Houston was on there doing stuff. So it's like because of all this black talent that was coming out, the advertising being able to, I guess, capitalize on that and reach the black audience because we want to purchase whatever our idols are telling us to, or whatever they're a part of, we want to support. And then I guess it was less, oh, what's the playbook? How do we make sure this isn't just a general audience thing? I don't think they were worried about that because the stars were the stars, and it was just easy to do stuff, to work with them.
Yeah, I feel like that hasn't been abandoned today. It's just been
Put a celebrity on there.
Yeah, and more so like because our buying power and stuff like that is undeniable. Even in the boardroom, they'll let us up to like middle management, and they'll like, but still like, when you think about things from like the advertising side, there's still like general market and multicultural, which I guess depending on the brand, it makes sense. But like all of us in here, we're talking off camera about stuff. We talk about shit all the time. Like I'm pretty sure all of us, even if it ain't your favorite show, you've probably seen Friends before. You've seen maybe an episode or two of Saved by the Bell. You at least know, like, we haven't had our own media for so long that we know white culture
Everybody
pretty well.
shit.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, picking on McDonald's again, no disrespect to y'all good people, but if they came,
I love
just
some
kidding.
McDonald's.
yeah, like matter of fact, let's choose another brand because they too close to things. But Wendy's, if Wendy's came to us, you know, they've had a quarter or two of straight loss apparently, even despite their social media shit. Like, if they wanted to reach like the general market, like all of us have enough combined knowledge to where we could just make some shit that's like cool.
Yeah.
Whereas the inverse oftentimes can't be said about like a lot of our white counterparts because like they don't necessarily have to engage with our content, but for the longest time we've had to engage with what was out there.
Yeah.
So you know, but that's why you have places like Majority. And in all honesty, no shameless plug. Like again, you can come here and get general market work from us because it's like, bro, we understand it.
Yeah.
Can we call ourselves the blackest agency in Atlanta? Did we do that? Anybody
I
know?
think we did that at one point.
I mean, I think that's
I
fair.
think you said that.
Is that
I think
fair?
it's fair.
When you look at like our main competitors in Atlanta, we don't really see no competition around here. But,
about to say.
Oh my God, are we the blackest? I don't.
yeah, I mean, we just a real like, in the words like Jesse Jackson, like a rainbow coalition.
Rip.
All of us in here are black, but we have Hispanic coworkers, we have white coworkers, and we're all able to have just like candid conversations. Sometimes the Slack get crazy, but it's real.
Yeah, it's
well, that's-
authentic, it's real.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're building real bonds because we're able to like engage with each other on a level that you can't really engage with like general market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to call out to how diverse Majority is because people might be looking at this and it looks very black, but it really is
Really, I
diverse.
would say it's like
Yeah.
we got everybody up in
Yeah,
here.
we got
We're gonna have
Everybody
more
up in
guests.
here.
We're gonna prove that. We swear because
Yes, we-
there's
We
representation.
got everybody in here.
Okay, yeah, that was a good point. I just wanted to talk about the '80s because I think it's fascinating as far as like celebrities and everything.
You're talking about the 80s, and for some reason, the main commercial that sticks with me from the 80s, and I believe it's the 80s, I couldn't find it. I'm trying to remember the actor, but it was the 40 drink. What's the 40s?
I know what you're talking about.
Is it Carl? It's not Carl Withers.
Oh, wait. Are you talking about Mad Dog 4040?
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
it was. Who was
Mad
the,
Dog is wild.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like who are the
Mad Dog is wild.
Because like that's what I think of like 80s commercials, and it might have been late 70s. I always think of my mom and dad talking about the Mad Dog commercials. And I've seen them here or there as a kid.
Oh boy.
Not in there's a whole conversation about that, but even in terms of like, I forgot who the actor was, but that did such an impact by using him that I feel like it affected our history in some ways too. So
Well, same thing
We
with,
wanted to
because I
bring
think the
that up.
Curtis Blow ad for Sprite was
Sprite,
the
yeah.
80s, right? Yeah, even thinking about that, it just totally shifted. Like, that's a black soda now. It might not have been the plan for forever, but it's now, it's the black soda. It's just an
Yeah.
unspoken thing.
Yeah.
But it started because you're working with, like, black talent in the 80s.
Yeah. Before that, they and maybe we cut this out because I might be botching the history, but like
We'll just
Sprite,
put on screen.
I think Sprite was like a post-World War II kind of drink that hadn't like found its positioning yet. Like they
Interesting.
were very much doing stuff like, you know, kind of like the advertising we were talking about overseas a little bit. Where it's like, I like the Sprite in you and shit. And it's like, like give a fuck. But then they find Curtis Blow, and they put a drink in the black man's hand. You feel me? And like they found hip hop culture, and then it led to Obey Your Thirst, which I don't know if this is a actual truth, but the rumor that I saw online about how Obey Your Thirst became a tagline, bringing it back to advertising, is apparently Ronald Reagan was like giving a speech or some shit.
This is already interesting.
I was about to say, we tied it back to Ronald.
Yeah.
Ronald.
Because normally I wouldn't even bring bro up.
Yeah.
To be honest. But like, yeah, apparently he took a sip of his water during the speech, and he said something to the effect of, gotta obey your thirst, or some shit like that.
Oh.
And an advertising copywriter heard that and was like, oh, this is a great tagline.
Okay.
Allegedly, that's what I saw. I don't know how substantial.
I'm dead. We're gonna all research, and
I'm
if it's
literally
something
looking it up
weird,
right now.
we're gonna put debunked on the screen in the video.
Well, I mean, the guys who
That's
came up,
crazy.
even Just Do It has like a dark past. Like the
Ooh,
guy,
what's that one?
Oh yeah, so Pete, the guy from
scared.
Wyden and Kennedy, apparently it has something to do with someone, I think, getting executed, electric chair or something like that.
Oh, I've heard this story.
The guy's like, just do it.
Just do it.
I've heard this
Flip
story.
the fucking switch. Just do it.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the greatest tagline on
Here
the
for
planet.
it. I'm fucking here for it.
But you know what? If you can't acknowledge where you came from, America, you
How can
can't.
you get better?
You can't.
Yeah.
You
How
know.
can you get
I
better?
mean, it's a story about overcoming hard things.
I mean, and we're still overcoming.
And we're still overcoming. But yeah, to think like Sprite comes up, Nike, it's like the black loyalty to brands. A lot of it started in the 80s. Like Nike is actually a big one outside of Sprite. That's not a black brand as much as Sprite has been labeled so, but like black people love Nike.
Yeah.
And it's because of like all the athletes and things that have partnerships with that brand.
Yeah.
Just
I was
one.
about to take this as a whole sociological
Oh,
idea
oh.
because I think like one of the reasons why the 80s were so big within advertising, especially within the black community, is because at that point you had a lot of like parents weren't in the home, the kids were in school, and the kids would get home, so we're trying to get that consistent, like we're trying to attach to you and get these things. So from a young age you have a whole generation of kids that were advertised to, parents here and there too, but because of the breaking of the family at that the depth of it at that point.
That's where we're going with this.
Yeah, and so like
So we should thank Ronald Reagan, is what you're saying.
I guess.
I think that's a stretch.
Not expect him to come up so much today.
But I think that's where I think there was a lot of tracking of like who are we advertising to, knowing that this is a huge part of our market, getting Michael Jackson, getting all these people that the younger generations, because when did Curtis Blow, was that in the 90s or was it like late 80s?
86.
86?
Yeah, that was
Okay,
in the 80s,
86.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The
so
80s
that's-
went crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy because you're hitting all of these people that, because television, sorry, I'm doing a lot of like mental math in my head based on like when did television, when did segregation end?
No,
when did,
seriously,
so
that's what I'm saying. There's a
trying
conversation to be had
Yeah, I think
about
that's,
why the 80s even has all that black like
and
talent
the
in the forefront.
70s was still, we were still coming together as our own people, like getting segregation, getting shit together. And I think you hit the 80s where there's a form of stability within the black culture,
I hear what you're saying.
but there's still like targeted. It was easier to target, I think, a mass section of African Americans.
Yeah,
to just the way that society had set us up at that point.
Yeah, to your point, when I was doing some of this research, because people like to say like, oh, if you could go back in time, where would you go? And black people we're not gonna go too far back.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go a lick past the 80s. That is where I would go experience like the culture boom, the colors, the talent, like all that stuff. Not a lick before then.
Yeah. That's not a question for our people, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always in school, in class, like, if you guys can go back in time.
Yeah. But I also
The
feel like
30s, no.
I also feel like there is something to be said about like brand loyalty and how like that comes with like the status. Like in the 80s and in the 90s, a lot of that brand loyalty came with a sense of I want to feel like X, Y, and Z. I want to have like status. I want to be cool. I want to be like with like Spike Lee coming out and I think was it you who did on Snob Pop something about how he was like the inventor of sneakerhead. Like
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
yeah, but that all of that comes with status and wanting to be cool and wanting to be seen and wanting to be like establishing yourself as a person in America outside of just being a Black person. And I feel like that's where advertising and like using celebrities makes a lot of sense. And for us, unfortunately, that's where we feel like Black people love name brand, whether you can afford it or not. Like they stick to that. They want to be seen as we want to be
Like
seen.
gives us worth now.
Yeah. Because in America, money is tied to your worth. We're a capitalistic and like environment. So where we can stick out and be like worth something or have value, I feel like brands come in and they can, see that and capitalize off of that. And the brands who do it well.
That's a really
and we
good
stick
point.
with them because we're loyal. For a long time, it was Nike or nothing. It was Nike or nothing. Let you come with a pair of Pumas, a pair of Adidas. Even like Adidas was like almost sometimes felt like a West Coast, East Coast, West Coast thing, like with Chucks and Adidas and Nike.
Or when Shaq had his brand, because my dad wasn't spending money on like Nike stuff.
Yeah.
But like the Shaq shoes, shirts, whatever was like more affordable, and as a little Black kid who plays sports, you can wear that instead.
Yeah. I remember when I got my first pair of Blazers. They were white with like icy blue laces, and they had silver on them. Ooh. I was a bad bitch in middle school, okay? But they were the only sneakers I was getting all year, so I had to make them count.
Talk to me Nike, okay?
Period.
We figured this out.
Yes, we made it work.
The status thing you mentioned just reminded me. Y'all know Black people saved Cadillac, right?
Really?
I've
Makes
heard
sense.
this. I recall this. Yes.
So, for the audience, if you haven't heard, you should have heard this. But if you're wondering, especially to your point on status and how how rappers adopted Cadillacs, like Fleetwoods, and 70s culture turns into 90s hip hop culture and shit like that. It all started because the Great Depression, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that we were segregated created we had our own separate economy.
Yeah.
But we still wanted status back then. So Cadillac didn't sell its cars to Black people back then. So if you wanted to have a Cadillac as a Black person, you had to find like a straw purchaser, a white person to go in, get the car, deliver it, and then again you come back to the neighborhood and it's like, Mr. Johnny got a caddy. You know what I'm saying?
My father's name.
Oh, for real? Hey, John is a great name. But long story short, in the Great Depression they were about to collapse. And lo and behold, a Black man working in the service department came with the insight that saved them, which is they're like, oh fuck, what do we do? And I think a white dude brings him to the board meeting. He's basically like, yeah, y'all know Black people love y'all's cars, right? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? We don't sell to them. And he kind of hips him to no, this is how they do it. And so they end up opening up, to a Black market and a Black consumer, and the company stays afloat.
Yep.
So when you see rappers in the 90s and even Cadillac now in the 2000s, 2020s, they're working with Killer Mike. I've seen Big Boy in a commercial too. Shout out to the home team with that. It all started back then.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've always had a role in all of these companies expanding, becoming billion-dollar unicorns. And to wrap up this point, because I don't know where this point is going. It's just an interesting
That's
story.
great. I was like, this is
It's
great
great.
history.
The point has been heard.
Yeah.
I just I hope brands because I've worked on enough brands. We worked at enough agencies where you can kind of see when people have a disdain for the work they're doing. Fuck, I don't want to work on this Black stuff. Even though that doesn't cut both ways. We're just happy to be in the room and work.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what happens when you actually pay attention to an audience.
Yeah.
It's hey, you could everybody in here angling for promotions and more money and bigger accounts and shit like that. It's maybe pay attention to Black consumers, brown consumers, the things they like.
Yeah. And the thing about Black people in general is that we are always resilient in times of struggle.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that is a great time to market to us because our lineage has come from nothing. Even in the Great Depression, white people were struggling. They were struggling. And Black people, that was the heart of the Harlem Renaissance because Black people already had nothing.
It was up there.
Yeah, Black people were up.
We don't need you.
And in the midst of struggle, Black people are always going to be up because that's just that's just ingrained in our DNA. And so don't miss out on a good market because, things are down for a general population. It's always up for us because when you come from struggle, you just got to figure it out.
To your point, and it kind of speaks to some of Spike Lee's legacy, because you said something really interesting about Spike Lee. Snob Hobbit said, like, check out what he's been doing with, like, Spike Lee, the history of sneakerhead and all that. But in the movies and the way he was integrating the shoes, black people were poor. They were struggling, but, like, he still big ups Jordans and the Nike shoe, and it was just free advertisement. It felt like getting a whole generation to appreciate that shoe even more. So it's kind of wild thinking about, like, Michael Jordan and Nike happens, but then Spike Lee's a sneakerhead and he wants them in his films and movies, and then all these people are just like, oh yeah, like, no matter what your economic status is, seeing it on television, like you said, and the status of it all, just that Spike Lee and sneakers did a lot.
So I'm glad you brought up Spike, because another person we got to give credit to is Jay-Z. And the reason, like, granted, I know people have all these things to say about him these days, the NFL deal, whatever. But like, when we talk about like how branding, especially in like with entertainers is today, like, he was really a pioneer with a lot of this stuff. Like, he Reebok, he was the first person who wasn't like a athlete to get like a signature shoe with the brand. So like the Reebok deal, the S. Carters.
That is crazy.
His work with Droga 5 is actually what taught me about advertising. Like, when he did the Decoded book, and he had all those billboards and the contextual places and stuff like that. But like, he's really like a marketing pioneer. Like, even the way he structures like his deals for his albums. Like, if you notice, every time an album drops, he has like a strategic partner. Yeah. Like a Sprint or like a Samsung. He's the reason black people started drinking Cristal, and then the reason they stopped drinking Cristal. Because bringing it back to brands and not liking their audience, there's like this distinct phenomenon where, like, once brands find out that their consumer is black, it's like, well, I didn't make it for them. Like, Lululemon recently had that, like a year or two ago, when old girl came out with Wham Whammy. Yeah. And, you know, put some Lulu, whatever lyric, something about Lulu. But like, I remember like the CMO or someone came out and was like, she said in like a very coded way, we didn't really make it for this. Yeah. But that, and it's sad that they feel that way, because like, just on some like straight up hustle shit, like, imagine like you, fucked up, but imagine you like selling dope and it's like,
how you gonna be like, I didn't want to sell you this dope, sir.
This is only, it's dumb. Like, this is why this shit be going down the toilet, because people are dumb.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to talk about, you talk about Jay-Z. I feel like people in this office know I don't have a disdain for Beyonce. I actually really love Beyonce. But I am so intrigued by how she runs her businesses and runs her marketing. And having a husband like Jay-Z, it's so baffling to me how she doesn't have enough lasting power, staying power in her businesses and how she markets things.
That's a really
great question.
Right. I love Beyonce, okay? I love you, okay? I am not a beehiver. I'm not that.
You sound like,
I was gonna say.
I promise. I really do like Beyonce. She's a cultural pioneer. She's an innovator. She's a great entertainer. Love her down. I do not trust Beyonce to sell me things. And I've stood on this fact for a very long time, and all the beehive people in my life always come for me. Yeah. I do not trust her to sell me things because I do not feel like I am fully represented in her marketing and advertising. And I'm not saying this as a black person, I just feel like this as a person. Yeah. I think on a base level, she misses the personality in the product. Yeah. So I don't trust it. Whereas Rihanna, on the other hand, I see myself using her product because I see her using her product. I know she uses her product. When she came out with Fenty hair, she cut all of her hair off and was like, watch me grow my hair with my products. That, as a person who big chops their hair all the time, like, that is, I see myself in that product. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I could even say that for like Selena Gomez, who has become a billionaire off of, I think it's Rare. Is it Rare Beauty?
Is she a billionaire now? Selena Gomez is a billionaire?
All of them are.
All of them.
I was like, she hit billion?
And Beyonce's also a billionaire. She just made it to billionaire status. So it's not that she's doing something wrong. It's just I don't innately trust buying. I have never bought a product from Beyonce.
Because you're speaking to how these people, like how black celebrities market themselves.
Yes.
Like, because Rihanna is just better at we see her personality. She decides to be involved in certain things.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, and even the big hair chop, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I can tell like you're a real person and you do things that make me relate to you.
Yes.
Beyonce is like this larger than life entity.
Like ethereal.
Yeah.
And
And I think,
Ominous.
because even with that last,
Get the end off.
the Christmas drop of everything, I just felt it just so bland. There was, like you said, there was no, even though there was designs and things that had references to the last album, I felt like I've seen other artists do things with less, and you have so much access that you should be able to create something that feels very
personable.
real. Yeah,
Exactly.
Like, not just
Exactly.
because I feel like looking at the stuff that was online, I was like, oh, I feel like I'm standing outside of your venue,
Yeah.
trying to buy a random shirt from
Yeah.
a nigga outside that sells
Yeah.
that shit. I don't feel like
Yeah.
I'm going to the
Yeah.
Beyonce store and buying something.
Yeah. And
I
that's
feel like
why
I'm talking to somebody who's selling me shit on the side of the street.
And that's why I feel like when she drops things more than one time, this third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, it doesn't last. It'll sell out the first maybe one or two times. Beehive is buying all of it. And then after Beehive is done, they've got the product, they've done the thing. Who else is buying the product after that? You can't hold buying power
Really good
and
point,
staying power when your core audience has already bought it and you're not engaging with anybody else outside of that. And I feel like with Jay-Z as your husband, it's wild because you can say whatever you want about Jay-Z, but he's got like he can hold down a business. He can. Isn't Sean John coming back? He was Sean John.
That's it.
I thought it was Fubu. I thought Fubu was coming back.
Sorry, I thought Sean John was.
But you make a good point because I think he, in a sense,
I'm gonna have to
I
leave
feel
y'all
like
by the way
he's-
too.
I have to burp.
Oh, I'm gonna let y'all keep going because y'all making excellent points.
Oh, you leaving?
Meeting?
Yes.
Ah,
And absolute must attend.
We'll figure out how to wrap it up.
Yeah.
I'm sad I love this stuff.
All right, we back. Had a little, OJ had a meeting.
I mean, we're still working. We're working.
Yes. You bring up an interesting point because I feel like Jay has had businesses where he's been successful, like Duce and Ace of Spades. But I feel like in part, like I think celebrities sometimes when it comes to branding, they have issues when the brand is too closely attached to their name. So like Ivy Park, I'm wondering if like it's too closely attached to like B to the point where like the core fan base picks it up. But then after that, like, there's not enough separation for people to kind of just like believe that it's just like a thing outside of her.
yeah.
Whereas, like, if you know Jay is the owner of Ace of Spades or 50% partner or whatever, cool. Everybody knows though it's like $1,000 bottle of champagne in a big, giant gold bottle, and it becomes a thing. And maybe that's another thing with branding that he's been able to do, like just the idea of having the gold bottle. I don't know what the Duce bottle looks like, but I think a lot of celebs like suffer from those problems where like they try to create fashion lines, for example, or even liquor.
I was literally thinking, I was like,
Yeah.
I was thinking of whose whiskey was it? What's that man's name? I think it was Ryan Reynolds, like his whiskey, and then even Conor McGregor, his whiskey. I'm like, what are we doing, guys? There's no need. This doesn't bring a new thing to it. It's not like, but I was just like, what?
No, I think
There's
you're
some times where you have the celebrities that just go into a venture and then they put a lot of advertising behind it, just be like, what is this?
And
This
this
is not quality.
it comes back down to, I think, too, like, what are you selling and what's been like the long time like brand platform people know you of.
Yeah.
And if you're not clear on that, like you just, I don't know, it's gonna sound fucked up, but a lot of celebs are probably stupid. Because like sometimes you look at the moves and it's like this. Like, granted, I can look at this and tell you're trying to get some money.
Yeah.
Get your money.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool, but it's
Yeah.
like,
Go about it a little slightly differently.
yeah, this
different.
product don't
Slightly
make
different.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, the liquor market is completely crowded.
Yeah.
You can only do so many, like, hey,
Variations,
please
yeah.
taste this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, what makes it, like, cognac is cognac at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's cognac. It's cognac.
You know, yeah.
Can't do
Yeah.
much to it.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah. And a lot of that is performative anyway. People don't. I'm sorry, but I'm not drinking cognac just to drink
No,
cognac.
absolutely not.
I'm just not
I do
doing
not
that.
like cognac.
And
It's
I
intense.
I
It's
really
too
like
intense.
Douce. Actually, one of my favorite dark alcohols. I don't really like dark alcohol because I'm a tequila girl. But Douce is pretty good. But outside of going out and turning up and having fun with my friends, I'm not buying a bottle of Douce for my house. What? It's That's wild. People are not just doing that. Like, maybe they are. I don't know.
I was like, I think there's some people that are doing that. I think there's some people
Maybe they
that
are. Maybe they are. But
And the thing about why I think Duce is successful as opposed to like some of these other celeb brands is, again, going back to having a disdain for your audience. Henny Palooza. Do y'all remember that back in the day?
it sounds familiar.
Oh man. Okay, I feel old. But
When was
Pete,
Can
this?
I say I never had Henny until like last year?
That's
That was crazy.
You're
to
not
me.
missing anything?
I'm not, because
Yeah.
like when I
Cultural
finally,
rite of passage.
yes,
Yeah.
but when I finally had it, I was like,
that's
okay, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So back in the day, a lot of popular hip hop journalists and people you'll see now, they started a party in New York called Henny Palooza.
Oh,
It started as a house party in like their
What?
home.
okay.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers just drinking Henny and chilling out.
I'm
Sounds
screaming.
tough.
But it became such a big event that like, kind of like how Trap Karaoke blew up, Henny Palooza blew up.
Yeah.
And people were coming to party, drink Henny. And naturally, like we do, we approach the brand and say, hey, we've got like this massive audience. Would you guys please sponsor us? And Henny basically was like, no. Like we,
That's terrible. 'cause-
but that's how.
I mean,
That's
but
how it
yeah,
happens.
that's terrible
It
because you
happens.
know how much the culture like
Loves
be
Henny.
loving Henny.
Yeah.
But then, but
Loving Henny.
it's so messed up. But like, yeah, like we again, like I feel like working behind the brands, when you see the people work behind the brands, no disrespect to them, but you can kind of tell like they it's a job, and they're like, man, I don't really want to do this. So they say no. But all this to say, Jay-Z swept in, you know, and like partnered with them on the event, and they switched it from Henny Palooza to Duce Palooza.
Oh, okay,
So-
okay.
Brand building plays, equity,
Yeah,
and whatnot.
it happens. I think this is off topic of what we're talking about, but my homegirl, I Love You, Cardi B, is coming out with a hair care line.
Is she really?
And
Oh.
that is probably one of the things that makes the most sense to me. And I hope that it does so well. So well.
So, did you see her campaign with Bobby last year? Okay, so this is a little out of my depth, but Bobby is like a natural formula company. Like, so basically it's supposed to be a bit healthier, not as many additives or whatever. So they did a campaign, The B is for Bobby, and they made Cardi B the chief confidence officer over there.
Okay.
I did see this.
It's so good. Like,
Let me go watch that.
please check it
Yeah.
out. But all that to say, like, that campaign made so much sense because she had a baby on the way. Like, her personality, she does shit that makes sense. I don't know who's on her team, but she gets it.
Every time.
Yeah.
She talks about her struggles with her hair. This is something that if you follow Cardi for the long haul, you know. Back in the day, she was not confident about her hair. She was one of them bald-headed hoes. She says this. And she took a really long time to just grow her hair. And she kept us on, like, as her fan base on her journey of her hair growth. Her hair is so long now. Like, she doesn't need wigs and weaves. She probably still does it just when you're in the entertainment industry. It's very hard on your hair. But her hair looks magnificent. It's so beautiful. And her having a hair care line just makes so much sense. And she did it so authentically. It's just her through and through. And I predict that it's going to be something that takes her to hopefully to billionaire status. I hope. Not that I think billionaires should exist, but if somebody should be a billionaire, it should be Cardi B. So yeah.
So if we wrap, because I know we're probably nearing around like 40-ish minutes, do each of y'all have any final anecdotes, campaigns, moments, something that you want to leave the audience with that pertains to Black history and advertising? Something you're saying is cool. What you got? I know that's like a deep question. It's like a
Don't count us out.
Don't count us out.
Have us in the rooms, because the cool factor you're looking for is authentically in us.
And I will say a cool factor that you're looking for can't be manufactured.
You can't.
Don't stop manufacturing.
Yeah,
things.
AI
like, to an
can't.
extent. Like, you can get stuff, but like Jesus.
Yeah, AI can't replicate it. People who haven't been through in our shoes can't replicate it. You need to have our voices in the rooms if you want to create something that has lasting power, that speaks to people through the heart, and yeah, just have us in the room. And just remember that we are general market. We're not outside of general market. we are the general market because we spend the most money. Don't forget that.
Let niggas be niggas and we'll buy shit.
And damn it, if we go in there, fuck it, I'm gonna get on my soapbox too. Fuck it. Stop just having us in the room for cool too. Mm-hmm. We know how to think. Mm-hmm. If everything's even and level, shit gets scary. In the words of Shador, So, but for real, like, have us in the room, have us at the table, and pay people adequately. Like, I don't know if this is a we might have to cut this part. I don't know if this is a cultural difference or not, but I have noticed that there is like this propensity to have us at the table, but then limit the amount of like how long do we have to like engage with this culture, these people in this kind of way? Let's just cut them a check and go away. And for all these marketers out there who keep saying that they want culture, you cannot go into a place, treat people like idiots and try to extract their shit and say, here's a check and expect it to go the way you want. Like, that's just not how shit works.
Yeah.
Like, maybe in the 80s you could get away with that because people were trying to figure it out, but like, that shit ain't gonna work.
You cannot clone Tyrone.
You cannot. You
can't.
clone Tyrone.
Yeah.
And with
That's
that,
it.
thank y'all for
Yeah.
joining
Yeah.
us on
It's a good
this
episode.
episode of Enjoy Report. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.